Morning and welcome back to a new vlog. I hope you're doing well. The studio vlog is starting outside of the studio today. I have got so much to do and I'm going to start in the kitchen. I have got work stuff that needs doing, so I will be in the studio. I need to clean and reorganize the studio, but I'm starting off by doing some baking. I know lots of you have requested more baking and cooking, and it's just been really manic lately. But I've got my sister visiting this afternoon, so I want to get some organising done before she comes, so I thought you could join me whilst I do that. I really hope you enjoy it. My name is Lisa, by the way, if you are new to my channel, and I run a creative business from home. So my vlogs are always filled of everything, running a business, creative, trying to juggle home and business. It's about all of that kind of thing. So I really hope you enjoy it. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoy the vlogs, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are new. So this weekend we will be baking a rhubarb crumble bake. It was so delicious, so I can't wait to share this with you. I also make some sourdough. I make a really easy cheating lasagna soup, and we make this amazing recipe. The first time we're trying it, it's a Nutella French toast casserole, which was so good. And there's also a bit of creativity. I get the pens out in my studio, and I do some DIY in my studio as well. I really hope you enjoyed this weekend's vlog. Quick rhubarb tart thing. Aid's on coffee duty, in case you can hear that sound. I picked rhubarb from the garden, washed it, trimmed it, cut it into chunks. I've added just a small amount of water because it produces its own juices and water anyway, and I've just sprinkled in some sugar. Right, this has only been going for a few minutes and it's already cooked down really well. There is a lot of water in here, as you can see. I didn't add masses, but you will need to drain it off well because it will make the bars, the tart thing, very, very soggy. I'm just mixing up the oaty mixture. This is that bar thing that I've made loads of times with you. I'm just trying it with rhubarb because we've got loads in the garden that needs using up. But I'll link up the recipe below for you, but you can use any fruit that you want. I've just drained it off in the sink because I do not want my oaty bottom to be a soggy bottom. I did taste it just a little bit. I needed a little bit more sugar, so now's a good time to taste test. The oats are in the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to add this. There we go. So that's all pressed in, and I've saved some for the topping. So that's all nice, and having the paper base really, really helps because you can just lift it out when it's baked. Oven is on 180 degrees. And this looks like it's going to be a nice amount actually. If I didn't have enough in there, I have got frozen berries in the freezer, and I would have added those to it. So I always improvise when I'm baking. There, that looks really good actually. I'm happy with that. I was just saying as well, this would be so nice with custard. Let me know if you have rhubarb growing in your garden. And now I'm just going to sprinkle over the rest of the topping. I'm not pressing this down like the base. This is just a sprinkle. And then that's going in the oven. There we go. And that's going in the oven for 55 minutes. I wish you could smell this. It smells really, really good. Can't wait to try this later. I'm going to leave this to cool. This is why I love using the paper rather than greasing it. It just lifts out really, really easy. This is going to be so nice. I could call it like a rhubarb crumble cake, couldn't I? Give it a different name to what I usually call them, bars. And I think this would be really, really nice with custard. So that looks amazing. I think we should try it whilst I'm on camera. Let's see what this is like. I love rhubarb. It just reminds me of being a child. My mum used to cook with rhubarb a lot when we were younger, and that's really nice. I didn't measure out how much rhubarb I had. I just used what I had, added sugar to taste. I think it's quite a personal thing. I like mine quite tart, but what I like is you've got the tartness and then the sweetness of the topping. You could always sprinkle extra sugar over the top of the actual like oaty crumble mixture as well. That is really good. And the other bars, you know, like when I've made them with like blueberries, or when I think the last one I did a peach and strawberry, I ate that as a bar as it was. But that to me, I don't know if it's because it's rhubarb and we associate it with a crumble, but I just want to eat that with custard. It just tastes so, so nice. So I highly recommend that. I'll leave the original recipe below. You've probably seen me make it a few times with other fruits. It's really, really good. My cooker needs cleaning. I just got it on and it's really a bit smoky in here. Sourdough loaf right now. I also need to do some serious housework before my sister comes. I've been kit packing all week. Oh, there's a little robin in the garden. I've worked like 16-hour days all week long and the house is a shambles. I was just on the phone to my mum and I was just trying to get all the dusting done. I love a bit of multitasking. So this is the crumble cake that I've made and that's cooling off nicely. Louis made Jack cookies recently and this has now been sat on my cake stand for over a week. It's rock hard, so I think I can bin that. There we go. They are rhubarb crumble bars. They're so delicious. And I can tidy this up. I think I need to make a list. I think that will be better. Right, that is my list now. Don't you just feel instantly like a whole load has been lifted off your shoulder as soon as you write it all down? I know I do. It makes a huge difference. If you don't do this, I highly recommend you give it a go because your head's just so full otherwise. You're just constantly thinking about what you need to do and it just feels like so much. Write it down with some tick boxes and you've instantly lifted loads. The stress is just relieved. And do not rush when you're trying to get loads done. I've just burnt the tips of my fingers twice lifting my cast iron Mickey Mouse dish out of the oven for my bread. They're really stinging and one's blistering. So this is my bread dough. My fingers are so sore. I've got a cup of ice. I keep resting them in. I need to transfer the bread dough. I've just popped some flour on top so it's not so sticky. And I've oiled my cast iron pan. And now I need to take this out and put it into the pan to bake. And hopefully we will have a very nice sourdough loaf to go with soup later. I haven't made sourdough for a while actually. There we go. Lid goes on and that goes in the oven on 240 for 20 minutes. Aid's now decent. He's coming from Waitrose. What delights have you got?
Hot dogs for tomorrow, cauliflower, milk, sugar.
Was it busy in there?
Yeah, it was a queue to get in first of all.
Okay, I think supermarkets are starting that up again, aren't they? I heard.
What's that?
The queuing systems, they're being stricter with it again. They're letting less people. Was it just busy?
It's just busy.
Okay, so we've got granulated sugar.
It's Saturday morning.
It is. So we've got a fun recipe to use this later. I'm about to make soup with this, and we've got this. Our niece and Louis are very fussy, so they've got chicken goujons tonight whilst we have soup. Also got corn on the cob and cauliflower because for some reason we can never get them, or very rarely get them in stock in Morrison's. And he's also brought home some ketchup. Oh, and hot dogs. The boys are having a football afternoon, I think, tomorrow, and they're having hot dogs. Next, I'm really excited to share this soup recipe with you. It's so easy and one, I would say, of the tastiest things I make. I'm really excited about this. I haven't made it for ages. It's lasagna soup. And basically, if ever you fancy lasagna but you can't be bothered with the faff, this is one for you. It's really good, and whenever we make it for anybody, they always want the recipe. One of those that you can just throw everything in and leave, and you can vary the ingredients depending on what's in your fridge. So I'm going to do a meat version. I had this meat in the freezer for a while. Aid probably picked it up reduced, so we're going to use that. Obviously you can do a veggie version if you want to. I've got some lasagna sheets, but again, use any pasta. Chopped tomatoes, they're essential. You need your chopped tomatoes. And then I've got half a small onion that needs using up. I've got a pepper that needs using up. I'm going to put some garlic, and I've also got here some garlic granules, Mediterranean seasoning and general seasoning. But stick anything in there if you want. Mushrooms, peppers, fresh tomatoes, courgette, anything that you think will be tasty or needs using up in your fridge, pop it in. So everything is going in my crock pot. I've got the meat, I've got a sprinkling of the Mediterranean seasoning, I've got garlic powder, and I've got the onion, garlic and peppers, and now I'm going to add 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. I am going to swirl these around. I'm going to pop some water in, probably about 3/4, and that will give me the liquid for the soup. There we go, and I'll do another one the same. The next bit is a little bit more faffy. It's the cheese sauce. You need cheese sauce if you're having lasagna. So if it's not something that you've got time to make or something you're not comfortable with making yourself, you can just buy one of the little ready-made sauces. I like to make my own, and it literally takes just a couple of minutes. I don't even measure anything. It's that easy. I'm just going to take a good teaspoon of margarine. I'll probably add another one of that. A heaped tablespoon or dessert spoon of plain flour, that will be your thickener, and a little milk and a whisk. And this is like doing a cheat's way of a roux sauce. I remember in school days sort of like forming it into a ball, the flour and the marge, and then adding the milk, but this is a cheat's way, the way I always do it, and it's really quick and easy and totally foolproof, as long as you do not move away from the pan and you just keep stirring. And then what you want to do is melt the marge, mix it well, it will start to thicken up nicely, and then you just keep adding more milk. I've added a little bit more milk and I'm thickening that up, and I've got some good strong cheddar. This is our favourite that we use, and I'm just going to cut it up into little chunks and add it to the sauce. There we go. I'll add this to the sauce and add a little bit more milk and some seasoning as well, and then I just do it all to taste. And this is exactly how I make cheese sauce when I'm making mac and cheese, obviously lasagna, cauliflower, anything like that. The heat from the pan's really hurting the blister on my finger. It's making it so sore. I'm gonna melt down the cheese, add some salt, pepper, and I like to add nutmeg. What do you like to add to your cheese? Powdered mustard can be quite nice as well, but how do you make your cheese sauce? Let me know. Right, the cheese hasn't quite melted, but that's fine. And now the sauce is just going to run into there. I'm going to scoop it all out and add some pasta. Before I add the pasta, I am just going to mix everything up together, break up the meat, just so it's all nicely mixed in. Obviously you've got raw meat in here, so don't go testing now. My sourdough is ready. That's just come out. That's just been in for another 20 minutes and it had the top off, so I'm going to leave that for a moment. And I'm now breaking out, I think I'll do 3 pieces of lasagna sheets, and I'm just breaking them into little bits. There you go. I'm just going to add, I can't do this with one hand, a squirt of ketchup and a little bit of brown sauce as well. Currently looks disgusting, but trust me, it's going to be really good. That's gone on the crock stand there, on the crock pot stand for 5 hours. I can't wait. That is a good loaf of bread. Nice and crusty, and all those holes are classic sourdough bready holes. They look really good. Right, house jobs are all done. The bread is really nice. I am now going to show you the disaster zone. That is the studio, and we're going to tackle that next. Aid's about to do some work for me. Right, I've got one of my new light in here. I had some new studio lights arrive, and this is all left over from kit packing. So that is my next tackle.
Got me up all night, putting things on the side. What do you have in mind? She's awake all the time. What are you trying to find? I hope this ain't a lie, 'cause I'm vibing with all we have. Yeah, I'm feeling what we are now. I'm laying down on the ground. All I do is thinking out loud. Yeah, I'm vibing with all we have. I'm feeling what we are now. All I do is thinking out loud. 'Cause I'm running with these emotions, stumbling out of bed. One hell of a roller coaster. You're messing with my head. I'm ending up so clueless. What are you trying to find? I'm running with these emotions. Tell me what to...
I've ended up cleaning up this corner here. It got really messy. Boxes had fallen over, so I've done this. Unfortunately, I really struggle. We keep these large boxes to corner off the kitchen at night time, so Poppy stays in one area, and they are just really cumbersome, but I don't know where else to keep them. But that looks a bit tidier, and I'm just putting away the excess stock from kit packing, And for now, I'm just going to pop them on these shelves and I'll deal with it properly next week. My sister's just called. She's due in an hour, so I don't want to be getting into jobs that take forever. I just want to quickly tidy and I'll deal with it properly next week. And that is my quick tidy up. Aid, how are you doing?
I'm struggling on the last one.
Okay, you nearly ready and we'll film that video then?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Cool. Right, my sister's due in a moment. Aid's just set up the 2 big lights, the new soft boxes. I don't know if I like the lighting actually. Better not tell him that, he's just spent ages setting them up. We're going to film a quick update video for the YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen that, I shall link that below for you. We've just finished filming and my sister's here now. So we need to put down all the lights. Hello, Molly.
How are we, alright?
Ready for a crazy house?
Yes.
Yes, we're good, thank you. How are you? So this is the new setup now. We've got these 2 big lights. The light bulbs are the biggest light bulbs I've ever seen.
A diffuser that goes on the front as well, so...
Yeah. Oh, they're not too warm actually.
No, but it's more you don't want to put them away like that.
Okay. Yeah, this was our little setup. Hi, Sarah Jane.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. After the
Visitor.
trauma,
You've had a bit of a stressful visit, haven't
did.
you? Journey, I mean. But you're all right now.
I am.
Good. Right, Sarah Jane's been to Asda Walmart today. This one's yours one, isn't it lovely?
Oh yeah, that's mine.
So nice. I haven't smelt the welcome home. They've got a nice selection in at the moment. These are the ones that you buy in the States and they were 3 for £5. I think that's a really good price. Right, I'm going to try a new recipe and it's called Nutella French Toast Casserole. I've got a casserole dish here and we're just going to mix up a custard and soak the bread. Right, so I am doing 1.5 amounts of the mixture. I'll leave the link below to the recipe. So this is basically milk, eggs and vanilla extract. I'm just going to whisk it up and this is my custard mix. So I've got a larger pie dish and I've greased it. Millie is spreading some good thick chocolate, make sure it's nice and thick, mils of Nutella. And then each slice of bread, we're using just normal white bread, gets rolled. And then you need to dip them in the custard mix and pop them in the casserole dish, or the pie dish in our case. Right, so we rolled all of those out. They're all soggy. I've got some of the custard left and this gets poured over the top and then goes in the fridge. It says minimum of 2 hours, ideally overnight, so it all soaks in. That looks so nice.
Is that actual custard?
Well, that was the egg, milk and vanilla.
Oh.
We're going to leave that and we're going to go for a walk and bake it later. Right, that's the pasta soup. We've demolished it. It was amazing. We've just eaten it with bread and butter, the bread I made earlier on. The soup is so yummy. I really recommend you give it a go. I've stuck the Nutella French bread casserole in the oven. It's got to be in there for 30 minutes. Alright, this is the dessert. It smells so good. We've let it cool down a bit. We've got some icing sugar on it and I've just drizzled some Nutella. We cannot wait to try this. Just dishing this up, I wanted to show you inside. I wish I had strawberries or raspberries to go with it. I think that would be even nicer. Can you see that? I'm just going to take a double serving for Aid. And it's crispy and then it's really gooey inside and it's lovely and warm as well. I can't wait to try this. Morning, welcome to Sunday. I realise I haven't actually picked up the camera and it's nearly 12:30. I am busy getting ready to film a journaling video. I am just talking on the video about adding, like I've just done a little grid there and how I print my photos. So that will be on an upcoming journaling video. If it's already up, I will link that up below for you. Haven't really done much today. I've worked on some artwork for an upcoming kit. We've gone on a little dog walk. And I've just been sat at my desk doing bits and pieces, and that's what I'm doing right now. But it's going to be vegan kebabs for dinner. The boys are watching football, so they're going to have hot dogs, and I would like to do a bit of sorting out in here as well. I just want to get organised, ready for Monday. We filmed an update video last night or yesterday and we forgot to take a photo for the thumbnail. I hate doing thumbnails for my videos. It's the worst thing. I hate it so much. We completely forgot. We were filming the video, my sister was banging on the door, they'd just arrived, and we completely forgot. So today we've tried to do a thumbnail. We've got completely different clothing on and everything, obviously, to yesterday, but in the words of my sister, it is what it is. So it's not the end of the world, is it, at the end of the day? But I'm just trying to edit the photos because they're not great. I'm trying to lighten them and just see what I can do. I've got a really good desk lunch today. I've just reheated up the leftover lasagna soup from yesterday. It's so good. I got a little bit of the homemade sourdough bread with butter, real butter. It's so good. I love that soup. Please try it. If you love lasagna, please give it a go. It's so delicious, and even better the second day. When my sister was over yesterday, in the evening, we sat around the dining table and most of us were colouring in and drawing. It was so nice. I got my new Posca Pens out, and I've designed 2 papers for the upcoming kits, or October kit. These are the 2 new papers. I'm really pleased with those, made with the Posca Pens. So we're not quite sure how they're going to be when they've been scanned, but this is what's coming for October. And I think they look really nice. What do you think? And then I created these and just had fun doodling. So much fun. I've just decided to add some white bits to this rainbow. I love how easily the white goes on the colour. Isn't that easy? I will link up the pens for you. They are amazing. And it's my niece's 12th birthday coming up, so I've ordered her a set of pens for her birthday today as well. So I'm about to film my journaling video. I've set up one of the soft boxes. They arrived the other day. I'm so pleased. I just need one. I've been checking it out and it's so much brighter, so I'm really looking forward to editing the video when it's done and to see if it's really made a huge difference. It is a faff to set up, but if it makes a big difference, it's really worth it, isn't it? I'm excited to film now. And I am doing my Snowdon photo. Hi, I've done my classic Lisa. Forgot to finish my video again, but I've got a treat for you. I am going to finish off the video with painting one of my cupboards white. I'm so excited. I bought the friendship paint ages ago, and this is what we're going to be painting the kitchen in when we finally get around to it. So I figured when I was talking with you on here a while ago, I would practice in here. I'm not precious about my furniture, but I would like it all to be the same colour. I love the white IKEA, but I've got this cheaper, it's not even cheaper actually, but this old Argos furniture, this like, is it birch? You know, that pale wood colour. And I've had it in my studio since I've had my studio built, which was 16, 17 years ago. There's nothing wrong with it, so I don't really want to spend money on it, but I would like it all to be white. So we're going to see what we can do with this. And I'm going to start with this cupboard here. I have got the soap scrub, which is also from Friendship Paint, and you mix it with water. I've got an old scourer, and I keep this purposely in this little pot here. This is what I use for this. I've used it a few times, as you can see, but I purposely keep this in here under the kitchen sink, and we're going to scrub this down first. This removes all the grease and everything else, and that acts as our cleaning base before we can paint. I'm so excited about doing this. I've got a brand new pair of jeans on today, so it may not be the best thing to wear whilst I'm doing this, but I'm not really precious about anything, so I'm just going to leave them on. I'm just going to give this a really good scrub. I like using a scourer because it's a little bit, is it abrasive? Is that the word to use? And because of the type of studio I have a lot of adhesive and things, so a lot of like where I've got tape stuck up here, bits of glue, paint, so hopefully it will come off really well. As I'm not going to try and even do a perfect job. I'm just going to have fun and hopefully have an improvement. I'm not bothering to remove the handles. Obviously when it comes to the kitchen cupboards, that's a whole different game, and I will definitely be removing the kitchen cupboards then. I've got an old tea towel here that I'm going to be drying off the cupboard with, and then we'll get our first layer of paint on, and I can't wait. I've watched so many videos where people have used this paint, and the thing that struck me was that it's quick drying, you don't need loads, and it's self-leveling as well. So I've seen other people's work and it's worked really well, so I've been really excited about using this. And you can get other brushes very similar based on the same idea, like on Amazon and places, but the reviews aren't as good and they seem to shed a lot of the hairs, which I've read in many reviews. I'm now going to take the lid off the paint. I've ordered everything direct from Frenchic, including the brushes that they recommend. I decided, especially as the main job is going to be the kitchen, if it's going to be done, it's going to be done properly. So I'm just practicing in here today, but I bought everything direct from their website. They are actually a local company to us, which is really nice. Ooh, ouch. I'd really recommend their Facebook group. I'll leave the link below. You'd be amazed what you can paint with this stuff. I've seen pathways, concrete patios, I've seen leather sofas, you name it, it's been painted. I'm wondering about doing my desk chair as well. Right, the paint looks very nice, and apparently a little goes a long way. So let's start. And I'm trying not to get any on my new jeans. You can also find YouTube videos as well, which I've watched as well, about painting. And they're done by Craig. Do you remember the very first winner of... do you know what I've done? I've forgotten to take a before photo. I do that every time. Craig from Big Brother, the very first Big Brother, the winner. Anybody else watch that? I had a newborn baby, a very newborn baby. I think she was born the same month it started. So I was up all the time feeding. And so I loved the first year of Big Brother. It was perfect timing for me, as it was always on TV. I'm going to see if I can take a kind of before photo. I have failed a bit there. Something I'm not displaying very well here, it is really important that you keep the paintbrushes going the same way. It really makes a difference, because when it dries, you can tell when you haven't gone the same way. I can't believe that's dry already. By the time I've painted the other side, that's already dry to touch. I'm going to give it a second coat already. I've moved these bits on the top here. They were on the other cupboard, but I wanted to paint down the side. I'm going to give it another coat. Second coat. Oh, I've got to do down the bottom as well. I've just realised there's a trim. Yeah, I think I will. Oh, I don't know actually. No, I think I'm going to leave that because I don't want to get paint everywhere. And let's face it, you don't really see that, so I'm going to leave that, I think. So far, so good. Yeah. I ended up doing the trim at the bottom. In the end, I decided that would look better. What do you think? I know it's not perfect, but like I said, I'm not precious. Nobody else comes in here. My jeans are still fine. I'm really pleased. That's another job ticked off my list. I'm really pleased with myself. I think the door might be the next thing that I go for. But I'm going to finish this video off right now. I really hope you've enjoyed it today. I hope you've loved the home stuff as well as the studio stuff. I hope it's been a good mix for you. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you've been up to, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!